morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien, and Bubba here on Wednesday, August 28th. Well, I wanted to do a special message to my kindred spirit, Patriot nurse, and tell her information that people have asked me so that she's aware of what's going on, and she can tell her followers 45 years from now what to expect. But it ain't good, Nursey. But I'll give it a try, okay? I had about 50 people emailing me and saying, okay, you're telling me this is going to happen then. Can you tell us why? Or what do we look like then? Okay. The why I told you already. So here it goes. Dear Nursey, this is so you can tell your preppers how to prepare for this, because it's going to be a rough sailing, okay? Uh, well, like I told you, people here before I even, encountered your videos, I didn't want to talk to you until I got the information out there first. But here it goes. The way the Earth looks in 2065 is a lot different than today. The United States no longer exists. It's composed of different confederations. There is a Western Confederation that kept some technology and some semblance of what the U.S. was. But they only occupy about 400,000 square miles in the western United States, or what is now the western United States. And unfortunately, it's a Trump era. So you got nationalism over there. Anybody who wasn't, as their quote, white, they threw out of that confederation. Okay. That's the only powerful confederation left in North America. All the other ones are trying to squander for every piece of equipment they can. Canada is suffering because of the climate changes. The Earth looks a lot different because the Amazon forest in 2065 is down 98%. So you only got 2% of what it is today, or what it was before the fires, anyway. So imagine just 2% of the Amazon left. The rest is starting to be savanna. The Earth's ice has melted at a precipitous more rate than people expected. Therefore, you don't have countries like Bangladesh anymore. Ceylon, which you call Sri Lanka, is no longer around. Florida in the United States, well, if you go past Lake City today, that's the end of Florida there. The rest of it's underwater. Washington, D.C. is almost underwater, not quite, but the water is pretty close to it. But it's a heavily devastated area. I mean, most of the United States has been devastated, but not by the Mushka. It's been by, like your friend told me, ourselves. We did it to ourselves. England lost a third of the British Isles lost a third of their territory to water. China ended up with a population of 2.5 billion in 2030. By 2065, their population was 500 million. And that's to do because of encroachment of the desert. Beijing no longer exists. And the encroachment of water on the other end. Also, starvation. And China is fighting a war to try to get some resources, but it's losing. Russia the same way. It's losing its cohesiveness, or lost its cohesiveness. So by the time the Mushka got there was no, how would you say, threat to it, really. Whatever threat it was, it destroyed in 4 minutes. But it made perfectly, it went to the Western Confederation and literally obliterated it. I mean, there was no survivors from the Western Confederation. That's how much the Mushka must have hated them for some reason. but they did. I was there, but I wasn't allowed to interfere. So, now do you understand what I mean, Nursey? You can prep them for whatever you are, but the devastation that both the disintegration of the United States caused, the problems in the Amazon, and the world economy that went downhill in 2025. There is no world economy. The United Nations is a joke. It hasn't existed since 2025. Nations are forever corrupted and gone. There's very few nations left in 2065. And by the time I got back in 2066 and I talked to your friend, I got permission to take 300,000 people from Earth because Earth was devastated. There was no way nobody could live on this planet because you had your nuclear problem that you guys let fester, and because nobody was tending it, it was getting terrible. The climate you guys destroyed, so there was no, Earth wasn't going to be livable for about 300,000 years or so. So I had to find places for these people, and all I could take was 300,000. When I was going home and I got here, that's all I took, 300,000. Out of 500 million that was left on Earth. So you got over 500 million people that are going to be disappearing. So the entire population of Earth is gone, except for 300,000. And this is a direct result of you guys. And this is what I'm trying to harp here. If you guys would have changed a little bit, more into your fellow men and your economy, and I don't mean money, I mean resources. You have finite resources here that you have to make sure that you share and keep until you can get yourself other resources like from your satellites, asteroids, or wherever it is. But you need the technology to get there and get those resources to keep your civilization going. You can't use the Earth's resources anymore, and you're depleting them. Until you understand that, and give me a hint in 2065, and keep the United States from disintegrating, but I doubt you can do that now. So this is your favorite alien, Nursey, telling you this is what you can expect. Nothing but disaster. Good day.